NFL free agency, hot start, right? A lot of moves being made. Obviously, some of the staple news was the Crosby news, right?
Yes.
It looks like he's going to Baltimore, trying to make a Super Bowl run over there. He's talking about how, he was thankful for his time in Vegas now, right? And saying, hey, let's go make a run now in Baltimore. He obviously had been wanting to get out there for a while. Then we break the news that he ain't going to Baltimore and he's staying with the Raiders. Wingo, I'll kick it off to you first. Like, what are your thoughts on that whole situation? Because it's pretty crazy that went down the way it did.
Yeah, so first off, I'll start by saying this year is a record-setting year, right? We're up to $5.8 billion spent since Monday on free agency.
Jesus Christ.
And that's up $1 billion more from last year. Obviously, the cap space has gone up, and you're seeing these big contracts and these big trades. Talking about the Maxx Crosby trade situation with the Ravens, I'm a little bit confused by it because they knew he just had an injury, just had surgery, was just kind of getting out of the brace and moving around a little bit. So he has to pass a physical, in order to sign that contract. I don't understand what they think they were going to do with them when he got there. If this was maybe an alter, something else going on in the behind the scenes for them to get Trey Hendrickson, just because they knew what they were getting, right? He got there. He's still recovering, and he couldn't pass the physical. When his clear date is, when he's going to be fully healthy. So they shouldn't have expected him to fully pass a physical. So I'm a little bit just confused. Them backing out, maybe, when they do go and do these big trades, it throws off a lot of teams. So that's kind of where my mind's going immediately.
Yeah.
When you do a trade, it messes up other trades going to other teams or who's looking at who or managing cap space. So that could have been, an ultra motive. But I really just see, they obviously got Trey Hendrickson, another big-time player to fill that position.
Yeah.
We have heard a little bit of they were going after both Trey Hendrickson and Maxx Crosby.
Can you imagine?
But I just don't know. I feel like it's a bad look a little bit. But also it's like you knew what you were doing. So I don't really get their logic here.
I will say Trey and Crosby.
Oh, my God. That would have been deadly.
Would have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whatever their odds were to win the Super Bowl would have skyrocketed if they would have landed both of them.
Yeah. I'm with you, Wingo. I do think it's a very bad look unless you are a Baltimore Ravens fan, right? Like if the Miami Dolphins did this, I would be like, all right, whatever. We're getting away. We're getting a Crosby is better than Trey Hendrickson, but Trey Hendrickson is incredible
because
you're
Trey,
not giving up 2 picks.
And yeah, exactly.
Right?
So they got him free agency, right? Because he was a free agent. So that's pretty crazy. You don't have to give up the 2 first-round picks.
It's a great listen. Objectively, it's kind of scumbaggy.
It is.
But they're making out like a bandit.
Yeah,
like they are. Like that's how it. And guess what? Like you know what I mean? Like for me. Right, if there's no rule against it, you're kind of more taking advantage of an unspoken rule, and it kind of sucks if you're the other 31 teams. But it is a bad look. But dude, if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm pretty kind of ecstatic. Like you lose Crosby, that news breaks, you're like, oh, what the hell? And then boom, you land the biggest defensive end free agent out there. So
Another thing I was going to tell you too now where my mind's going to get a little bit is, right, let's say Crosby gets in the building. They know that he has to pass that physical, but they know there's going to be, he's not fully going to pass it regardless just because he just got off an injury. Mm-hmm. They could have still been in the works and teetering and finding out, hey, we can get Trey Hendrickson here if we back out of this for a pick less. So let's just basically say the physical was failed, right? Because he wasn't going to pass a full physical. Like, he can't go out there and run and do all these things.
Yeah.
So they can easily say on paper, hey, didn't pass the physical, send him back. Let's bring in Trey Hendrickson for a pick less. And that's that, right? Save the team.
True.
Another pick. And now I'm thinking, hey, I think it was a smart decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
I mean, listen, if that was my team, I'd be ecstatic. Yeah. So I can't lie. I would.
Is there a chance that Crosby still gets moved at this point? Obviously now, because there's the reputation is he healthy, right? But to Wingo's point, everyone knew that he's not going to pass a physical at this point, right? Yeah. And his doctor and his agent both came out with the statements basically saying, he's not there yet, but he will be, right? And you shouldn't evaluate him completely based off of how he is right now, but he's on the right track to recover. Yeah. So is there a chance that another team tries to come in now and it's a contender and try to go after Crosby? Or is it like, you know what, he's going to have to run it in there with the Raiders and no one wants to touch him because they're worried about the injury?
I don't think
Wingo.
anybody's really worried about the injury. I don't think they're worried about the injury just because they know the type of player he is. I do think that when you say someone's off the market, they're not really off the market, right? If they call and give a number, they're more than welcome to listen to that and be like intrigued by it a little way. But, I do see, Max now staying over there with the Raiders just because everyone's already they've been spending their money, right? They've been spending their money in free agency. They've been doing certain trades. So by doing that, right, they're getting to their cap already. There's few teams, right? We can pull up the list. There's few teams that, have the amount of money to go sign another big contract for a defensive end like Maxx Crosby. And that's when you're looking at things like the draft for this upcoming year. The edge class is stacked. Right, you can go get a guy in round 2 and round 3 and maybe early round 4 that's still a top caliber player. So you got to take that. You can get him for a lot cheaper. It's a lot of stuff to kind of take in, a lot of stuff moving parts in these next few days, weeks, and months. But I don't think anyone's really going to touch him. Maybe few calls here and there, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean the price is basically 2 first-rounders for him, right? And then do the Raiders have a contract already in place with him, or is there an extension?
He tweeted that he's staying with the Raiders. He already put out. He's like, I'm saying he does. I think it's either his last year or maybe he's got 2 years left.
Okay.
I'm not sure of his actual contract. I know he is still on the Raiders. I can see, because I agree with you, Wingo, that I don't think anyone's going to touch him now. I can see someone potentially making a move closer to the deadline. Like mid-season when he is back and hopefully, he's kind of in full form. Like maybe that's when you go do it. I don't know. Or, somebody could use, right? Like, hey, you almost get a discount now that he's, not passing physicals and,
Yeah.
I don't think the Raiders would do it, but, I'm sure a couple people will probably make that call. I expect him to be on the Raiders week 1, and then let's see what happens.
Which, I mean, honestly, it could be interesting, right? Raiders, new head coach.
He did sign an extension he signed an extension through 2020, 2029. He did it on March 5th. So that is a 3-year, $106 million extension. Okay. There could be trades with that here and there, but I don't think anyone's touching him, and he's going to be comfortable staying in Vegas.
Yeah, and look, I mean,
Mendoza.
They're on the other side now of this new era of Raiders football, right? Mendoza, 99% chance is the quarterback there, right? And they got the new head coach, right, with Kubiak. So I think there's upside, right? Where Crosby was kind of sitting there and being like, what are we doing here? So I think that helps the cause a little bit, where there's momentum in the right direction for him, and he's gonna be a piece of that. Hopefully, new era of Raiders football.
Yeah, and to be honest, the Raiders actually made one of my favorite moves of signing the guy, ironically, the Ravens center. I forget his name, Wing. I don't know if you know it.
Lindenbaum.
Oh, there you go, Poochie. They just went to go get him, right? And so they're kind of making the move to connecting a rookie quarterback with one of the best, probably top 2, top 3 center in the league. Mm-hmm. I think that's a great move, initial move already. So it seems like the Raiders are kind of on the right path. But again, it's Crosby is Crosby's nasty. He is getting a little older. Raiders aren't really in win now, but I can see the Raiders, if they keep making these moves, maybe it's a next year, 2 years thing, that they could be very, very competitive. Especially if how Mendoza is.
Exactly.
Tom Brady is loving it right now.
Yeah.
This is his dream. Obviously loves playing, win all the Super Bowls. Now just to sit back and it's like he's playing Madden, just picking out his players. Figuring out all the moving pieces. So I'm sure that he's having a blast.
Hell yeah. It's sick. Any winners of free agency up to this point? There's been a lot of moves. One move in particular caught my attention was the Jalen Phillips.
That was
he got a bag with Carolina, right? Carolina had money to spend, and I think that was one of their big needs. So they were like, Jalen had a good enough year to showcase he's healthy and bounce back from injury, but he got a bag, right? Mm-hmm. And other teams are, to Wingo's point, spending a lot of money, right? But is there any team, any move that you think has been kind of a highlight move or big move for a team this year?
We kind of touched a little bit on it last week. I think the Rams right now, what they're doing, getting not only McDuffie, but I think they even got another cornerback as well. And supposedly, and I read this right before we came on live, they're making a move for A.J. Brown. which would be a very, very stacked receiving core, to say the least.
Christ.
So, like,
how would they do that? AJ Brown, Devontae Adams,
and Puka.
And Puka.
It'd be crazy. You put Devontae at the slot. Or
No,
Puka
I ain't even going to watch the NFL.
Cooper Kupp. Come on now. Don't forget Cooper Kupp.
And Coop. Yeah. Well, no, Coop's in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Come on, Wingo. Come on, Wingo. You're better than that.
I think Kupp.
I know.
Yeah. When you think about Cooper Kupp, you think Rams because he goes to Seattle and he's not the guy anymore. So Puka just swooped up and stole his job.
He really did.
Puka's
He came in there.
Good. But yeah, dude, the Rams.
Puka's on a weird offseason tear, by the way.
Unreal. He's on an unreal tear. But the Rams, for me, like, again, were just as good as the Seahawks, right? Like, those two teams, like, the Seahawks.
Whoever won that NFC championship was winning the Super Bowl.
Maybe, here. So, like, for a team that's that good to essentially be reloading and not even reloading, just adding. I think for me, they're the MVPs of the offseason so far. And then I do, or I'll let Wingo go first because we definitely got to talk about Malik Willis.
Hey. You know who my team is that's won the offseason so far? The Miami Dolphins, baby. Let's go.
I love it.
I knew somebody was going to take the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that ends up well over there. I'm not holding my head too high for that one. But I got two teams for you. I'm repping it today too. I got two teams for you. I'm going to say Carolina Panthers being one. Obviously, Bryce Young ending the season very well. You can see that he can play to that caliber level of football. The Jalen Phillips, I think that's huge for them to be on the edge. And then adding a guy from Jacksonville, Devin Lloyd. I think he did an amazing job being on that, Jacksonville defense last year was very productive. Having both of them added to their defense, I think will give them that extra push, give Bryce Young a little bit of time to, get on the sidelines, make corrections, calm himself down so they can continue to play at that high caliber level football. And then my next one is actually the Buffalo Bills. I think, adding DJ Moore with Josh Allen, I think should help them. I talked about it before.
That was a big move. Yeah.
James Cook being, so versatile. It was him out of the backfield and him running the ball, right? Him on the edge and to be able to add another threat out there on the edge like DJ Moore, a solidified number one receiver, helps Josh Allen a lot. And it's going to allow, one of these slot receivers to step up, whether or not that's Shakir, right? Can Keon Coleman now learn from DJ Moore or, be another guy that steps up his game in year 3? So I think those are the two teams that definitely excite me for this upcoming year. I'm sure there will be more moves to make. And then obviously, I'll let you guys talk about the Miami Dolphins making some moves and being strategical in the background here.
Before we get to the Fins, one move that kind of caught my attention too, right? We've been talking about the running backs, right? You talk about Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs, right? But another one was Travis Etienne going to the Saints, right? Yeah. The Jags made such a good run last year, and Etienne was a huge part of that. I mean, him and Trevor Lawrence last year with that new offense that they were running was electric. I mean, Etienne 2 years ago looked like he was washed, like he was done, and they were like, what does Etienne really have? Then he has a great year out of the backfield, catching and running the ball, right? And this was a team that was a legit contender, right? Especially the AFC last year was weird. It felt like it was wide open, and they just let him walk. Another, good running back in my opinion. And then you're in New Orleans now, right? Which it's a strange division, right? You got Atlanta that brings in now Tua, and that open QB competition that's going to be going on there. You got Carolina and all the moves that they made that Wingo just brought up, right? And then you got who's the fourth team there?
The Bucks.
Bucks, right? We just lost Mike Evans,
right? Mike Evans,
right?
the Niners.
So that division is always interesting to me because of the fact that it just is. You never know, right? You can win 9 games and you're probably going to be the winner in that division. How crazy would it be? Tua goes in, wins the starting job in the NFC South, and then goes and makes a playoff game and wins.
Cut his mic, coach.
Just saying, cut it up in January next year.
Oh man, I mean, listen, the Tua to the Falcons one is it's just funny. To me, it's like Penix and Tua. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna. Listen,
there's weapons there, man. Drake London, Bijan.
He can just hand the ball off every play. Mm-hmm. Listen, as long as he stays healthy, right? As long as he stays healthy, like he'll do fine, right? Now, Is he gonna freaking win a playoff game? I don't know, but listen, it was time for him to go. I hope wish him well, but Tua, it's
sure. Was it time to go?
Right?
Absolutely.
Who is Tua?
We're gonna get into Malik now, but I'm just saying, Drake London, Bijan, they got a little squad out there.
A lot of weapons.
And like you said, the dome. Let Tua rip the ball out there.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, 20 yards.
Hey.
Hey. I couldn't help myself.
Now let's talk Malik Willis real quick. To Wingo's point, like I'm at the point where I'm not excited about anything anymore. It's like, how can I get high about anything? Because I've gotten up high, especially like in that 2023 year. And now it's just like, I'm neutral, right? Do I like the moves that we made? Sure. My biggest question mark with the Malik Willis thing is like, you're going to say the whole thing, he's only started 6 games. Like, let's put that aside for a second. Mm-hmm. Even if he is good, is this team even good enough to like support him, right? Like you paid a guy, I think it's going to come out to like $22 million a year. So it's not a bad contract by any stretch of the imagination. We have
highest.
Yeah. We have plenty of room to work with, right? And we will set ourselves up for success. Yeah, next year, right? So for me, it's like, it's great, but are we even in a position to like help Malik at this point, right? We have pieces on the offensive line. What are we going to do with Achane and that contract, right? Like all these things that like we have pieces to build around, but I just don't know if we have enough to really see if Malik could be good.
Yeah, for me, it's like I'm with you in the sense of like I walk into every season with my expectations high. I somehow have been hurt about my entire life for after every year. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was down on it initially. I watched one hype video and I'm on my way back in. I saw him walking into the facilities yesterday. I'm like, that's my QB1, baby. But listen, I'm with you. The Dolphins don't have a great track record in terms of setting you up for success. I think, especially based on how the contract was, 2 years fully guaranteed. I think it's a 3-year contract. Mm-hmm. I still expect us to draft a quarterback next year.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean,
Sullivan was pretty adamant about that.
Yeah. Unless this guy really wins MVP this year, I don't see us not taking a quarterback next year, right? But really next year is where I think we'll see, what we have. I think it's a big move for us, right? I didn't expect it, to be honest. I know everyone was saying, Malik Tidal. I'm like, I think we're going to just kind of tank and go. No, we're picking him up.
Yeah.
And so let's see. Listen, I think it's all upside, right?
But that's what Ross does. He doesn't allow tanks to happen.
I know.
He has to sell tickets, and he's going to make the team as relevant as it needs to be, so that we can go 7-9 again. That's what I don't want.
I know. Yeah, that's the biggest issue. But it's also like, I mean, it's right. It's a win. I guess you could kind of lose in the sense if we are 7-9, that'd be a nightmare. But if this guy shows enough flashes, or he is the guy, right? We have him for a couple years at a pretty good contract.
Yes, yeah.
And next year is really going to be the year where we can really add, right? This year, obviously, we've been taking a bunch of cap hits. Tua, Tyreek. One actually, Wingo, when you said about the Bills, they just got Bradley Chubb yesterday, which he's another one that we let go. So I'm not expecting much this year. I just want to see if he can, make plays and make us competitive, right? And who knows, I think these guys really
there's definitely no downside.
They really believe that this guy could be a really good quarterback in this league. So it's a new regime. I know I'm just a scarred Dolphins fan, so I want to be negative, but then again, I can't help myself because I'm such a homer that a week later I'm all in. So let's see what this kid's got.
Yeah, no, I think it's enough to be excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm not gonna, shoot for the stars, but I would like to see us get aggressive with a big time receiver. One of these lengthy, long guys, 6'5", and can run fast. Are we gonna look at those guys in the draft? I'm sure. There's Colby Young. There's
we got Tutu Atwell.
We got Tutu,
yeah, and so now it's mixing Tutu Atwell with Jalen Waddle, right? How are we gonna play with both? It's a little bit of controversy. Yes, great player, right? Return guy, return specialist, but so is Waddle. So that's where my only question mark is there. But I would love to see us go out and get a young, big time receiver who can go up and get the ball, or look for a veteran guy to come in, guy that's similar to a guy like Mike Evans, right? I
Yes.
don't know if we were in talks when that was going. A guy like Keenan Allen.
A.J. Brown?
More towards the A.J. Brown, if we could afford him. But, so one of these older guys that's a lengthier receiver, I think would be super beneficial to pair with, that Tutu, the Waddle, and with the A-chain in the backfield. We need something to spice it up a little bit on top of, a big-time tight end guy, right? Can we still have Darren Waller, to have that red zone playbook? Like, what does this certain things look like? So definitely piecing all the parts together is definitely something I'm trying to envision,
right?
But not going to feel too confident about anything because I don't want to let myself down.
I expect us now. I wouldn't be shocked. I fully expect us to take a shot at a wide receiver in this draft.
Yes.
I don't think so at 11, but I expect maybe in round 2 or 3, I can totally see us making a move for a bigger receiver, and I'm obviously down for it. Let's give this guy some weapons now.
He's got a cannon and he's mobile. I don't know. When's the last time we had a mobile quarterback?
Tannehill?
Yeah, true. Tannehill was pretty mobile.
He's probably the most mobile we've had.
Yeah, he's not like Lamar Jackson mobile.
Tyler Huntley.
Lamar. Oh, sure, Tyler Huntley. That's right.
Huntley. That was rough.
Yeah, but
a couple quarters in the past few years with Tua.
Yeah. Oh man, new era of Dolphins football.
New era.
There is actually a signing I want to shout out.
Go for it.
A guy that the Dolphins signed, bringing him back home to Miami, Josh Uche.
Yeah, let's go.
Christopher Columbus High School.
Yeah,
I played against him. I played with him when I was playing ball. I never put on my ass so hard in my life than from Josh Uche when he was playing at Columbus. Sea Pride. It was practice. I needed to run scout. It was playoff time. And I see him just lighting up like a fucking predator on the end. And I'm like, this guy's not going to go easy, is he? I had to kick him out. And, I don't remember the contact. I just remember my ass on the floor getting chewed out. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Do something with yourself. And I'm like, Ooch, can you relax, dog? Relax. But I think he could be good. Spice up the edge room a little bit. Had a good year with the Patriots. So bring him back home and see what he can do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that signing for the Fins. But yeah, great, good offseason. NFL's always relevant. It's just always on.
And this one was a crazy.
It was crazy.
Crazy offseason.